saying Jehovah.
What's going on, YouTube? How you doing? How you doing? First and foremost, man, I want to thank everyone for the love and support. And like I always say, man, I will always be humble and thankful for that. And I most definitely love y'all for that. Now, before we get started, please hit that subscribe button for your boy. Please hit that subscribe button for your boy. Let me give a shout out to my black Americans, man. I see y'all. I see y'all with this boycott. Y'all doing a great job boycotting. I ain't gonna lie. Especially in my area of where I stay in Texas. I'm seeing a lot of empty nail salons, a lot of empty beauty supply shops, a lot of empty Chinese spots, even Chinese chicken spots. Even me, I ain't been going to the Chinese chicken spot. And I love some Chinese chicken. Now, I know I might be eating something else. But I gotta give y'all credit for that, man. Now, I can't speak for the people that's still seeing or in their area of what's going on. I only can speak out for mine, so I just want to give credit to what credit is due. Reason why I say this because it's getting to the point now. I think if this boycott is working to the point that not only the Africans are saying something, the Caribbeans are saying something, or these immigrant groups are saying something, or even the Asians are speaking out against it. Now white people talking. There's a video that I'm about to play of a stud white woman wagging a finger at us, calling us why we chimping out and all this other stuff, making these racial stereotypes about black folks. In this video talking about we shouldn't boycott these businesses that treat us bad. I'm finna play the video now. Here we go.
Today's episode of Chimps Be Chimp, and apparently there's a boycott that's in place where basically a bunch of people of a certain demographic have decided that they're not going to do business at businesses anymore, like nail care supply stores, hair care supply stores, beauty supply. They're not going to go to any type of salons. They're not going to go to any gas stations or liquor stores. Pretty much anywhere where the owner or employees even remotely look Oriental. Which, salon, first of all, as if you ever paid the bill in the first place. Y'all go in there, get your nails did, and then you walk out the fucking door without paying. Or the beauty care supply store, you're not going to walk in there. Wow, suddenly they're probably not going to deal with theft problems anymore. You're going to come on social media and advocate for boycotting innocent people's businesses, taking away business from them because you're mad about something that someone else did when you don't even know what the nationality or ethnicity of that man actually was. But you're going to look at people and say, oh, they got squinty eyes, they must be the same ethnicity. And then you wonder why people look at you and can't see the difference between you and the fucking animals in prison. You want people to start seeing you as an individual, as a human being, then start fucking acting like it. Don't come on social media and bitch about prejudice, bitch about oppression.
Now y'all heard the video, right? Y'all heard everything this white stud said. Now it's mighty funny that she mentioned all these stereotypes just coming from the gate. She said, why y'all chipping out? Using the chipping thing, Chud the Builder situation. You start off with that. Then you start off with like saying something to the effect of, we get our nails done, or our ladies get their nail done, then they don't never pay for the service. They'll run out and not pay for the service. Then she said, well, you don't want to be judged. Oh, you basically just paraphrase what she said. Basically, it was like, you don't want to be judged compared to the animals in prison. Then she was like, how you so y'all just gonna judge people with slanty eyes and all this other stuff, and that's why you're not gonna do business? All types of racial disparaging things this woman has said now. Okay? She said all these things. And when I see stuff like this, when white people make these type of videos, I be thinking like, what's their angle? What's the reason why they speaking out for a minority group or people of color group against black folks? Why they doing that? Because if we wasn't here, they'd be dragging them also. See, we the buffer. Like they say the minority is the buffer class. We really the buffer class of these other minority groups, or these refugees, or these immigrants come over here getting touched. Just to be real. Because if we wasn't here, man, white people would slaughter these folks over there. They just would. But for this white woman to say all these disparaging things about black people and black people business, it's wild to me. White people always think they have like this high moral code, this high spiritual being, like they can't do no wrong, like they just so perfect, like they so godly. But the one thing we never talk about, we talk about the violent history of white people around the world, but we never really just talk about the violent history of white people in America. We don't never really talk about that. We talk about slavery and stuff like that. We talk about certain things. But we just don't talk about the violent history of these people. And the reason why I could never look at white people as they holier than thou. I can't forget the history that they had in this country, especially against black people. And I got a few things I'm going to put out there, man, just to remind white people of how they were. Let's start off with Jim Crow. We all know what Jim Crow did to us. We all know what they was doing during Jim Crow. We can't forget about that. I think that's normal that everybody know about Jim Crow. Transatlantic slave trade. We know about that. We all know about transatlantic slave trade. The history of white American racism. We don't talk about the history of white American racism like we should. Black codes. Why we had black codes? What was black codes used for? Slave patrols. Ku Klux Klan. The war on drugs. You saw how that destroyed us as black people. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. How white racism grew out of slavery and genocide. Oh, yes. How whites still benefit from slavery and genocide. Yes, this is the history of white people in this country. White anti-racism. The Southern strategy. The RAPE of enslaved women. Madison Grant. The Black Indigenous Wars. Human zoos. This is the history of white people in this country, y'all. The colonization of aboriginals. White flight. Proposition 14. The Homestead Act. Black people couldn't get a part of that. The Rosewood Massacre. Tuskegee Experiment. Lynching. Hollywood stereotypes. We know about them Hollywood stereotypes. The Indian Appropriation Act. We can't forget about that. One of the worst things that happened to us was the Immigration Act. You start with the Immigration Act of 1924 and how that affected black Americans to this day in 2026. Sundown Town, still going on today. This is the history of white people, the violent history of white people from back then even till today. Emmett Till. Let's not forget what they did to our young brother Emmett Till, man. And RIP to him too, man. With the Emmett Till, I remember in 4th grade when my teacher brought the picture of that child in a coffin. And that still ring bells to me to this day. Still ring bells in my mind to this day. Another thing white people have done out here, we can't forget about the Bacon's Rebellion. We can't forget about the history of the gun in America. We can't forget about the history of the police, the history of the prisons. We can't forget about Lincoln's racism. Everybody talking about Abraham Lincoln. Now, some people say he was mulatto, but I think he was whatever. But he still was racist towards black folks. Real estate steering, school tracking, mass incarceration of black men, Boston school busing riots. We can't forget about the Boston school busing riot. Chopping off indigenous women's breasts off of leisure during the genocide. These was black indigenous women, y'all. I ain't talking about the white, native, Mexican looking people. I'm talking about the black indigenous women. They used to chop out their nipples, bro, back in them times. This the history of white people. And you think I'm gonna listen to this white woman tell me anything? Man, these people so wild, y'all. These white people so wild in America that they used to slam indigenous children heads against rocks, bro. They used to slam indigenous children heads against rocks. And you want me, and this white woman thinks she got a right to tell me something about me just boycotting? Out of all the things that these people have done, they still think they have the moral authority to talk to a nigga like me. We can't forget about the assassination of Martin Luther King. White America supported apartheid. White America supported apartheid in South Africa. It was black Americans that stopped it. Nazism, skinheads, everything, man. It's so much stuff I can name I got on this list, y'all, that it's just crazy. It's just crazy, man. And that's why it irks me so much when I see a lot of black people drag their own people for these folks. It's sad when I see a lot of black Americans peacock for these folks, coon for these folks, buffoon for these people. And these people, in the history that they have in this country, is very diabolical. I would never forget that, y'all. And I would never allow these people to think that they can tell me where I can't spend my money at. But anyway, shout out to everyone, man. I appreciate everyone for the support. Thank y'all for sharing my video, liking my video, commenting on my videos, or even just subscribing to my channel. I will always be humble and thankful for that. And that's why I always just got to get it in the beginning of my videos, man. Because without y'all, my channel wouldn't flourish the way it does. And I want to continue growing, man. I want to continue to be one of those guys, man, like the Tim Blacks, like the Tariq Nasheeds, like the Black Alpha, like Vicky Dillard, who else we got? Damn, I forgot, I'm having a brain fart. But like the other creators that I see, man, that they make great content and that's very impactful on a lot of black people, man. That's my goal. That's something I want to do. That's what I'm continue to work on, man. I want to make sure I give good content and just get better, man. Reading more so I can have better knowledge of things. So when I speak to my family, everything can come out perfect, you know. So, but anyway, salute to y'all, and I love you.